Stephen A. Smith is back swinging. And this time, he's aiming straight at Kobe Bryant's widow, Vanessa. He's out here accusing her of blowing through Kobe's fortune, cutting off his family, and heading for financial disaster.
I don't give a damn. I said what I said. I meant what I meant. And I'm going to double up and double down on my podcast, The Stephen A. Smith Show. Look for it on YouTube today. I didn't stop.
And trust me, the receipts are wild. This whole mess starts with a betrayal straight out of a family soap opera. Vanessa Bryant, the widow of an NBA legend, is now under fire after Stephen A. went on record questioning if she's purposely freezing Kobe's family out of his money while quietly falling into her own money troubles. The drama goes back to September 2020, just months after Kobe's tragic death, when Vanessa's own mother, Sophia Lane, dropped a bombshell interview no one saw coming. She claimed her own daughter kicked her out, leaving her homeless, even after Kobe had promised to take care of her for life. But this wasn't just private family drama. Sophia took her own daughter to court, saying she'd worked for free as a personal assistant and nanny for nearly 20 years and wanted millions in back pay. We're talking $5 million, a new house, and a Mercedes SUV. Vanessa fired back, calling her own mom's move extortion.
Kobe's mother is still walking. She's still with us. Vanessa Bryant, are you going to take care of Kobe's mom?
And saying Sophia barely babysat here and there. She told the public, I have supported her for nearly 20 years. She now wants to back charge me $96 per hour for supposedly working 12 hours a day for 18 years. And then she twisted the knife even deeper. My husband never promised my mother anything. But while Vanessa was locked in this ugly court fight with her mom, Kobe's own mother, Pamela Bryant, came out of the shadows with her own accusations. Pamela claimed Vanessa cut her off completely after Kobe's death, leaving her without a dime. Imagine that. Within a single year of Kobe passing, both mothers were accusing Vanessa of financial betrayal.
You know, I don't hear nobody saying that. Now, you and I both know, if a black woman inherited a white man's estate and he had some old white parents, white folks would be all over the media shaming them. All over the media shaming them. But because Kobe Bryant's parents are black, Vanessa's not black, nobody's coming to his family's defense. I just hope they stand up for Kobe's mom.
Social media went crazy. The NBA world had opinions, but Stephen A. wasn't the only one blasting her. Dr. Umar even claimed Vanessa was neglecting Kobe's parents because she's white and said the media was protecting her for it. Now, here's where the story flips. Kobe himself wasn't on good terms with Pamela long before he passed. Back in 2013, Pamela tried selling his high school jerseys and championship rings without permission. Kobe sued her, cut her off emotionally and financially, and never looked back. So when Vanessa refused to give Pamela money, some say she was just honoring Kobe's wishes. But once that narrative hit the media, Vanessa became the villain overnight.
Racism is about the control of resources, opportunities, and privileges. It has nothing to do with calling black people the N-word. It has nothing to do with believing black people are inferior to you.
Still, there's a much bigger question. If Vanessa inherited an estimated $600 million after Kobe's death, how is she now facing whispers of bankruptcy? Here's where things get messy. Over the past few years, Vanessa's been selling off Kobe's properties at a suspicious pace. In 2022, she quietly listed one of Kobe's Newport Beach homes, worth about $2 million more than he paid, right as rumors of mounting legal fees started swirling. Within a year, she sold 2 more luxury properties, including a condo used by family and a massive retreat Kobe planned to keep for his daughters. Why would she ditch properties Kobe intended to hold on to? Her camp stayed silent, but financial experts weren't buying the estate restructuring excuse.
Man left her a sizable estate, man. A sizable estate. And I don't hear any of these NBA players saying like, listen, we're not trying to get in your business, but Kobe was our brother.
One estate attorney told Bloomberg, when you see multiple properties sold fast by someone without a steady income, it usually means cash flow problems. And lawsuits? Vanessa's drowning in them. She's been tied up in a wrongful death case against the helicopter company and suing the LA County Sheriff's Department over the leaked crash photos. Lawyers don't come cheap. And with every court battle, Kobe's empire takes another hit. Now the whispers are getting louder. Is Vanessa really protecting Kobe's legacy or slowly tearing it apart from the inside? Yeah, Vanessa won that $16 million lawsuit over the crash photos. But here's what people don't talk about. Most of it got eaten alive by legal fees and split with co-plaintiffs. Add in 2 lawsuits from her own mother. Another one Kobe's mother was threatening, and ongoing trust disputes. Even when she wins, the cost of fighting is massive. We're talking attorney retainers, estate managers, asset disputes, private settlements, and experts say she's already blown through tens of millions just keeping lawyers on speed dial. Meanwhile, Vanessa's been living like the bills will never come due. She's been spotted jetting off to Europe, Turks and Caicos, Aspen, rocking custom couture gowns at award shows, hosting luxury events with celebrity chefs and five-star venues, and only flying private, even for short domestic trips. Nobody's saying she shouldn't live well. She's raising 3 daughters after a devastating loss. But here's the issue. Instead of building Kobe's empire, she's draining it. Take Granity Studios, Kobe's pride and joy. Before his death, it was booming. Books, projects, Netflix, and Disney talks for animated adaptations. Now, the Instagram's been dead for 2 years, the website lists no new projects, and insiders say it's basically on pause, maybe even shutting down. Then there's the Mamba Sports Foundation, which Vanessa renamed the Mamba and Mamba Cheetah Sports Foundation. She still promotes it, but tax filings show donations are dropping hard, and corporate sponsors are quietly stepping away. Kobe's estate was never just about stacking cash. It was about building a legacy his daughters could inherit. But that legacy is fading fast. Sources say Vanessa's also been consolidating Kobe's business deals and trusts, cutting out advisory boards, replacing the business managers Kobe personally chose, and taking full control herself. One former Granity consultant even said, Kobe had layers of protection. Now it's just Vanessa. That's dangerous, because between sky-high property taxes, luxury home upkeep, private travel, non-stop security, and investments that aren't diversified, experts believe she may have already burned through over $100 million since 2021. And here's the real bomb. Insiders warn that if Vanessa doesn't massively reinvest in Kobe's businesses or lock in serious brand partnerships, she could run out of liquid cash in less than 10 years. Stephen A. Smith and other critics are calling it what it is, a tragedy. The kind where you watch an empire disappear in real time. Because for years, Vanessa was untouchable. The grieving widow who stood on that stage and spoke to millions with grace. The strong mother keeping her family together after the unthinkable. She was loved, respected, even worshipped. But now, that picture's starting to crack, and people are finally asking questions. That sympathy Vanessa once had, it's drying up fast. In the court of public opinion, she's no longer the grieving widow. She's becoming the villain. And it didn't flip overnight. It started small. Whispers under Instagram posts, Reddit threads, Twitter debates. But now, those whispers are a full-blown roar. When Stephen A. Smith's comments went viral, the internet lit up. TikTok clips racked up millions of views, thousands of duets, and non-stop arguments. For the first time, people weren't just praising Vanessa, they were questioning her. YouTube exposés started dropping with titles like Vanessa Bryant is not who you think she is, The Silent Collapse of Kobe's Empire, and Stephen A. Smith tried to warn us. They came loaded with receipts, legal filings, estate records, old interviews, and the tone was ice cold. Even legacy media began shifting. Right after Kobe's death, outlets like People, ET, and Vogue couldn't say enough about Vanessa's grace and strength. But now, that shine's fading. Forbes broke down Kobe's estate, but skipped any praise for her financial leadership. The LA Times covered her real estate sales, calling them strategic, but admitting there's uncertainty about the estate's future. Not an attack, but definitely not protection anymore. And that silence, deafening. The celebrity world's been pulling back too. In 2020 and 2021, she was tight with Lala Anthony, Ciara, Kim Kardashian, Gabrielle Union. Birthday posts, red carpets, all love. By 2023, the photos dried up. The public shout-out stopped. Even LeBron James, once thought to be close to the Bryants, hasn't said a word about the lawsuits or estate drama. And when the people around you start going quiet, it's usually because they know something you don't. Then came the unthinkable, the backlash from Kobe's own fans. And we're not talking casual followers. This is one of the most loyal, ride-or-die fan bases in sports. They started asking real questions. Why has Mamba Academy basically vanished online? Why has Nike pulled back on commemorative Kobe merch? Why aren't we seeing any major documentaries or books honoring Kobe's life? The insiders answer, Vanessa has full control, and she's either not making it a priority or she's blocking it outright. One former ESPN producer, speaking anonymously, said a major streaming service had a Kobe docuseries ready to go, but it got shelved indefinitely after estate negotiations collapsed. The alleged reason? Vanessa's legal team demanded terms so heavy that the deal died. The result? More silence. No documentary, no long-form tribute, no official public celebration of Kobe's life beyond a few charity drops and social media posts. It's the kind of silence that hurts. What would Kobe think if he saw this? The lawsuits, the money vanishing into legal bills and lavish trips. Both mothers, his and hers, suing his widow in the same year. The fans turning on her, the brand fading away. This isn't just messy. It feels like a betrayal of everything Kobe stood for. His life wasn't just basketball. It was discipline, fatherhood, mentorship, legacy. He worked himself to the bone to build something that would outlast him. In 2017, he told ESPN, "I want my kids to understand the importance of hard work. Being great requires focus, sacrifice, and commitment." In 2019, just months before the crash, he told GQ, "My daughters are everything to me. My legacy is theirs. I'm just building the foundation. They'll build the future." Kobe's vision was clear. Granity Studios, Mamba Academy, his body armor stake, his books, his children's stories, all of it was for the long game. He didn't care about Hollywood fame anymore. He cared about being a father, a builder, a man of purpose. But since his passing, that vision feels like it's fading. Granity's Instagram is silent. Projects have been shelved. The storytelling studio with a sports soul Kobe dreamed of has lost its heartbeat. Kobe's second baby, after his family, was the Mamba Sports Academy. It wasn't just a gym, it was a temple to his values. Discipline, mental toughness, teamwork, and excellence. It was where he and Gianna trained side by side, building the next generation of athletes. After his death, Vanessa renamed it the Mamba and Mamba Cheetah Sports Foundation. A move that at first felt like a beautiful tribute, but according to public filings and insiders, things changed fast. Training programs were scaled back, expansion plans were shelved, corporate sponsors walked away, staff were laid off or reassigned. What Kobe built as a living, breathing institution is now more of a branding logo, surviving through occasional press appearances instead of shaping young athletes like he dreamed. And here's the harsh truth. Kobe was a disciplined spender his entire career. He didn't blow cash to impress anyone. He invested in companies, in stories, in kids, in the future. His motto was simple: own, don't rent, build, don't borrow. Vanessa, she's been taking the opposite route, selling off properties Kobe wanted to keep, spending millions fighting both sides of the family in court, flying private everywhere, hosting luxury events, taking high-end vacations, and with no real reinvestment into the empire Kobe left behind. Is this what he worked for? Would he have wanted his name buried under lawsuits, his parents iced out, his studios and academies left to quietly fade away? Even if you support Vanessa as a mother and respect her grief, this doesn't match Kobe's philosophy. Kobe didn't just win championships, he built a legacy meant to outlive him. And now, that legacy is being dismantled, not by rivals, but by the very person who vowed to protect it. Stephen A. Smith's warning hits different when you really think about it. Kobe's estate wasn't just measured in hundreds of millions, it was measured in dreams, vision, and purpose. And what's left now? A fractured family, dormant businesses, vanishing funds, silence. The Bryant legacy can still be saved, but that choice sits with Vanessa. If she truly wants to honor her husband's name, she'll have to do what Kobe always did when facing the impossible. Own her mistakes, make brutal calls, and fight for something bigger than herself. Only then could the Mamba's legacy rise again. But here's where it gets even darker, and where the silence says more than any headline. This isn't just about Vanessa and Kobe's image, it's about the future of Natalia, Bianca, and Capri Bryant. These girls have already lost their father and sister, but they might be losing their inheritance too. Kobe's estate was structured as a trust, with Vanessa controlling it until the girls reach certain ages. But every lawsuit, every sold property, every shuttered business chips away at that trust, directly taking from their future. One estate attorney told us bluntly, when you're burning tens of millions on legal fights and lifestyle expenses while shutting down income-generating businesses, you're draining the beneficiary's inheritance. And the most alarming part, Natalia Bryant, now 21, reportedly has limited involvement in any estate decisions, even though she's legally entitled to updates on her inheritance. Sources say she's being kept in the dark about the real state of her father's empire. Then there's the Nike deal. Kobe's partnership was designed to generate millions a year for the estate long after his passing. But since 2020, Nike has quietly cut back on Kobe releases. Industry insiders say the reason is simple. Vanessa's team has been a nightmare to work with, making demands so steep they clashed with Kobe's original vision for the brand. One former Nike executive told us Kobe wanted his shoes priced so kids who couldn't afford Jordans could still rock them with pride. Vanessa's team? They pushed for premium pricing and super limited releases. It went against everything Kobe stood for. The result? Millions in lost revenue. Money Kobe planned to pour into scholarships, academies, and his daughter's futures. Sure, everyone's heard about Vanessa's $16 million win against LA County, but here's what's not in the headlines. Huge chunks of that money were eaten up by legal fees, and the rest was split with other crash victims' families. Even worse, sources claim she turned down a much bigger settlement early on because her lawyers told her to hold out for more. That gamble might have cost the estate tens of millions and dragged the case on for years. Before his death, Kobe wasn't just running body armor and Granity Studios. He had tech investments, international business deals, and media projects in motion. Now, silence. Multiple former partners won't talk about their ventures with Kobe at all. One tech entrepreneur told us privately, After Kobe died, Vanessa's people came in and shut everything down. Millions in development, gone overnight. Kobe's reach wasn't just in America. He was massive in China, Italy, and across Europe. He had licensing deals, global partnerships, and was planning expansions overseas. Yet since his passing, there's been no international push, no global events, no sign Vanessa wants to keep that empire alive. And maybe the most heartbreaking detail? Kobe was working on a memoir, a raw, personal account of his life, his mistakes, his growth as a father, and his vision for his girls' futures. That manuscript is reportedly locked away in the estate vault. Vanessa hasn't moved to publish it. Think about it. That book could have inspired millions, generated huge revenue for his daughters, and instead, it's collecting dust. But the silence is cracking. NDAs are expiring. People who were in Kobe's inner circle are starting to talk. A former Mamba Academy coach says Kobe had blueprints for underprivileged youth programs, international training camps, and a coaching certification pipeline. Vanessa, she scrapped it all within months. A former Granity Studios employee says Netflix wanted a Kobe docuseries. Disney wanted animated films based on his books. Every deal got axed because Vanessa's team demanded creative control, even if it meant gutting Kobe's message. And here's the scariest part. Financial experts warn that if her current spending keeps up, the Bryant estate could be functionally bankrupt in as little as 7 to 10 years. That means Natalia, Bianca, and Capri, the daughters Kobe believed would be set for life, could inherit nothing but lawsuits and debt. Why hasn't a single NBA legend stepped up to defend Vanessa's decisions? Why has Nike gone quiet? Why are Kobe's global partners staying silent? Why are former employees risking legal action to speak out? The answer may be simple. They know something we don't. Stephen A. Smith just said what others were afraid to. Now the question is Vanessa Bryant the guardian of Kobe's empire or the one dismantling it? Is she a widow trying her best in the face of tragedy? Or a leader losing control of an empire she never truly understood? And the biggest question of all, what would Kobe say if he could see this now? The clock is ticking, the money's draining, the legacy's breaking, and soon there may be nothing left to save. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the next chapter in this story could change everything. See you in the next one.